If you love discovering the hidden value of old coins, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now, because today we're diving into a story that might just make you look twice at the change lying in your drawer. This is not just any coin. It's a coin that most people have held in their hands without realizing it could one day be worth a small fortune. I'm talking about the 1996 South African 10-cent coin. Now, you might think, what could possibly be special about a 10-cent piece from the 90s? It's small, copper-colored, and back then, it couldn't even buy a piece of candy. But like many things in life, the true value of something isn't always obvious at first glance. Over time, stories, rarity, and history can turn an ordinary piece of metal into something extraordinary. Let's go back for a moment to the South Africa of 1996. The country was still feeling the fresh winds of change after its first democratic elections just 2 years earlier. Nelson Mandela was president, and there was a sense of hope and renewal in the air. The South African Mint was producing coins that would represent this new chapter in the nation's history. Each coin, from the humble 1 cent to the 1 rand, carried not just a monetary value, but a symbol of unity, of a country rediscovering itself. The 1996 10-cent coin featured a beautiful design. On one side, the iconic protea flower, South Africa's national symbol of beauty and resilience, and on the other, the coat of arms, representing the strength of a people who had endured much and were looking toward the future. It was made of bronze-plated steel, a modest metal for a modest coin, but the meaning behind it was far greater. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Not every coin minted that year was created equal. Most of the 1996 10-cent coins were made for everyday use, but a small batch was struck with special precision and care: proof coins, collector's editions, and a few rare varieties with slight minting errors. These are the coins that have become the talk of collectors around the world. Some coins show subtle differences: a faint doubling on the lettering, a slight off-center strike, or an unusually bright luster that stands out from the rest. To the untrained eye, these details might seem insignificant. But to a numismatist, a serious coin collector, these small imperfections tell a story. They turn an ordinary coin into a rare piece of history. Collectors often say that coins are like time machines. They carry us back to the year they were made, to the people who touched them, the events they witnessed, the economy, and the spirit of that time. And when you hold a 1996 10-cent coin in your hand, especially one from that rare batch, you're not just holding metal. You're holding a memory of a country finding its new identity in the mid-1990s. For many men of your generation, that year wasn't just a date on a coin. It was a time of transition, of change, and of resilience. Maybe you remember where you were in 1996. The music that played on the radio, the news headlines, the feeling of a world moving forward. The same way you've seen cars, houses, and even old watches gain value over time, some coins have quietly appreciated in worth without anyone noticing. Now let's talk about the collector's market today. Across the world, collectors are always hunting for coins that tell powerful stories. The 1996 10 cents from South Africa has recently caught the attention of international buyers, not because of its face value, but because of its symbolic meaning and its rarity in pristine condition. Some collectors value the historical connection to the Mandela era, while others are drawn by the craftsmanship of the South African Mint during that period. What's even more fascinating is how few of these coins have survived in perfect, uncirculated condition. Most 10-cent coins were used daily, tossed in pockets, vending machines, and change jars. Only a handful of proof coins or mint error pieces have surfaced in top-grade quality, often hidden away in old collections or discovered unexpectedly in inherited boxes of coins. Imagine the thrill of finding one of these in your collection, a coin you might have ignored for years suddenly becoming the most valuable piece you own. It's happened before. Stories keep emerging of people who stumbled upon old coins in their drawers or albums, only to learn that what they thought was pocket change was worth thousands. And that brings us to the moment you've been waiting for, the real value of this remarkable little coin. While a regular 1996 10-cent coin might fetch a few dollars at most, certain rare versions have reached astonishing prices at private auctions and specialized coin sales. Coins with minting errors, perfect proof finishes, or verified collector provenance have sold for as much as $12,000. Yes, you heard that right. $12,000 for a single 10-cent coin. That's the kind of story that makes collectors' hearts race. It's not about the metal. It's about the history, the rarity, and the passion that collectors bring to preserving a piece of the past. And so before you dismiss that jar of coins sitting in your cupboard, take another look. You might just be holding something priceless without even realizing it. Grab a magnifying glass, check the date, and look for the small details, the shine, the strike, the markings. Who knows? The next great discovery could be sitting right there in your hands. And if you enjoy stories like this, about rare coins, hidden treasures, and the value of what time can transform, don't forget to subscribe and stay with us. Every coin tells a story, and sometimes that story is worth far more than you ever imagined. Because in the world of collectors, even a humble 10-cent coin from 1996 can become a legend, and a legend worth $12,000. Before we begin, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. Join this channel if you love coins, stories of history, and the mystery of hidden treasures that the world has almost forgotten. Because today, my friend, we're going deep into one small coin that has quietly turned into one of the most talked about pieces in the world of numismatics. It's not gold, it's not silver, yet it carries a story richer than most treasures ever found. I'm talking about the South African 10-cent coin from 1994. Now, take a moment and think back to 1994. It was a year of change, not just in South Africa, but around the world. Nelson Mandela had just become president. A new dawn was breaking after decades of struggle, and every single coin minted that year carried the weight of a nation stepping into freedom. Coins are not just money. They are time capsules, silent witnesses to the moments that shaped history. The 10-cent coin from 1994 might seem ordinary at first glance, but beneath its copper surface lies a story of transition, identity, and value far greater than its face suggests. Picture yourself standing in a small shop somewhere in Johannesburg in 1994. You buy a loaf of bread, hand over a few coins, and among them, one gleams with the new coat of arms of a free nation. You drop it into your pocket, not knowing that one day, decades later, collectors would hunt for that very coin like prospectors chasing gold in forgotten rivers. Because, as with all things in life, rarity turns the ordinary into the extraordinary. The South African Mint was adjusting to a new era. Designs were changing, dies were being replaced, and small variations appeared between mint runs. Some coins were struck using test dies, others with slight alignment errors, and some bore the old pre-democracy design elements by mistake. These minor differences, invisible to the average eye, are the reason collectors lose sleep, because those tiny imperfections often become priceless in the world of coins. The 1994 10-cent coin has several known varieties, but there is one, so rare, so mysterious, that has become the holy grail for South African collectors. A coin that represents a bridge between two worlds, old and new. As the years went by, this small copper-plated steel coin started disappearing from circulation. Inflation pushed smaller denominations out of daily use. Most were melted, lost, or simply forgotten in drawers and jars. Yet, a few remained, and among them, one coin stood out. Its surface held a slightly different shade. Its die marks showed the faintest trace of an earlier emblem, a symbol of a changing mint caught between past and future. When that coin finally surfaced, it created a storm among experts. What was once a simple 10-cent piece had suddenly become a window into a nation's rebirth. Now, if you're a man who remembers the 1990s, you know what it felt like to hold coins that actually meant something. You remember the days when change jingled in your pocket, when you could buy a paper and a coffee with just a few cents. That memory, that feeling of a simpler time, is part of why collectors today will pay enormous sums for coins like this. It's nostalgia mixed with history and the thrill of the chase. And for those who understand, the 1994 10-cent coin is more than just metal. It's memory you can hold in your hand. Collectors today scour flea markets, estate sales, and old jars in garages hoping to find this particular coin. It's not about greed, it's about connection. Each coin tells a story of a country, a people, a generation that saw the world change before their eyes. And for men who lived through those days, owning a coin from 1994 is like owning a piece of your own timeline. But what makes one specific coin worth so much more than all the others? The answer lies in condition, rarity, and provenance. Most coins from that year are worth just a few cents. But a select few, those struck with rare minting errors or preserved in mint state condition, have crossed into the realm of legend. One such specimen, verified by top grading experts, recently shocked collectors when it was valued at an astonishing $1 million. That's right, $1 million for a single 10-cent coin. Think about that for a moment. A coin you could have held in your palm, tossed into a jar, or used to buy gum, now worth more than most homes. That's the magic of numismatics. It's where history, chance, and passion collide. It's the art of finding beauty in the overlooked. And it reminds us that sometimes the smallest things carry the biggest stories. Maybe you're listening to this right now and wondering if you ever had one of those coins. Maybe it's still somewhere in your old collection or hidden in that dusty tin box in your garage. Who knows? Many fortunes have been rediscovered in moments like that. All it takes is one careful look, one spark of curiosity, to uncover something the world forgot. The 10-cent coin of 1994 isn't just valuable because of what it's made of. It's valuable because of what it represents. It tells a story of resilience, transformation, and hope. It carries the fingerprints of a moment in time when South Africa was reborn. And for the men who lived through that change, that small coin is a symbol of endurance, of pride, and of the journey that shaped a nation. So, before you toss away that old jar of coins, take another look. Turn them over in your hands. Let the light catch their surface. You might be holding something far more valuable than you ever imagined. Because sometimes, life hides its treasures in plain sight. And if you enjoy stories like this, stories that uncover the hidden worth of the past, make sure you subscribe right now. Join the family of collectors, dreamers, and history lovers who see beyond the ordinary. This is more than a hobby. It's a journey through time, guided by the coins that have witnessed it all. So, my friend, next time you come across a 1994 South African 10-cent coin, don't dismiss it as small change. Look closer, because somewhere among those worn edges and faded lines lies a piece that has already reached legendary status. The one that turned from 10 cents to $1 million. And that, right there, is proof that even the smallest coin can hold the biggest story. Before we dive in, if you love rare coins, forgotten treasures, and stories that unlock hidden value, hit that subscribe button right now. Because this isn't just a coin. It's a key to the past and possibly to fortune. Now take a moment. Close your eyes. Picture yourself back in the year 1999. Y2K fears were sweeping the globe. The world was changing fast. But down in the heart of South Africa, a coin was struck, quietly, without noise or attention. A coin that most people held in their hands, spent on groceries, or forgot at the bottom of a drawer. A coin no one thought twice about. Just a simple 10 cents. But here's what they didn't know. That same 1999 10-cent piece, ordinary in appearance, copper-colored, light, and often overlooked, would become the center of numismatic conversations decades later. A coin dismissed by millions is now being hunted by collectors, historians, and investors alike. Not because of what it was then, but because of what it represents now. You see, there are stories that cling to coins like dust on old photographs. Stories of a nation transitioning, of politics, power, and the people behind the mint. The 1999 version of this coin came out in a time of quiet revolution, a moment when the country was healing, building, and forging a new identity. And in the middle of that was this coin, one that didn't scream, but whispered. And only those who listened closely, who looked beyond the surface, would see what others missed. This 10-cent coin bears the image of the king protea, South Africa's national flower. It's more than just decoration. That flower is a symbol of resilience, strength, and natural beauty. A fitting match for a coin that refused to fade into history. Flip it over and you'll find the country's coat of arms, a proud display of unity, strength, and rebirth. But here's where it gets truly interesting. Most of these coins were made to be spent, not saved. But in the year 1999, certain batches were struck with slight errors, tiny imperfections to the untrained eye, but gold to collectors. Some had a minting flaw on the lettering. Others had a lighter metal mix than expected. And then there were rumors. Quite at first. Rumors of a proof version. Ultra high-quality strikes never meant for circulation, somehow slipping into the hands of ordinary people. These are the rarest. The coins that never should have made it past the mint. And when something is that rare, when even the mint itself doesn't confirm how many exist, the value doesn't just rise. It explodes. But let's go deeper that it's not just rarity. It's about connection. Many men, especially those between the ages of 55 and 65, remember these coins not from display cases or auction houses, but from life. From their first car's ashtray. From the pocket of a dusty old work jacket. From a time when coins had weight, both in metal and in memory. For many, the 10 cents was part of daily life. Now, it's a bridge to the past. A link to youth, to long drives, corner cafes, and the quiet hum of radios playing the songs of a different time. And that's where the true value comes in. Because collectors don't just buy metal. They buy moments. They chase memories. And in a world that moves fast, anything that slows you down and takes you back has a price. And speaking of price, let me tell you something that'll stop you in your tracks. Point one specific 1999 South African 10 cents coin. Carefully graded, kept in pristine condition, verified by professionals, and sold in a rare coin event. Shocked the market with its final bid. The auction hall was quiet. Eyes locked on the display. And when the gavel dropped, the room echoed not with applause, but with disbelief. $13 million. Let that sink in. From a coin worth 10 cents to a payout of 13 million. That's not inflation. That's revelation. Now before you go digging in drawers or calling your uncle who used to collect coins, remember, this isn't about getting lucky. It's about understanding what makes a coin valuable. Rarity, condition, story, and timing. And most importantly, it's about respect for history, for craftsmanship, and for the moments that shaped who we are. E.so. What do you do now? First, you take a good look at your collection. Check your old boxes, those tins in the garage, the forgotten jars in the cupboard. If you find a 1999 South African 10 cents coin, don't rush. Don't sell it on a whim. Study it. Look for imperfections. Compare weights. Check the edges. And if it seems special, get it professionally appraised. And while you're at it, remember this. Value isn't always obvious. Sometimes it hides in plain sight. Just like this coin. Just like so many things we've overlooked for years. So here's your chance to turn memory into money, history into legacy, and a simple coin into a symbol of something greater. $13 million. One 10 cents coin. One incredible story. And if you want more stories like this, more truth, more mystery, more treasures waiting to be discovered, subscribe now. Because the next one might be even bigger.